Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste experience. And what an experience it is, especially on a morning like this when, well, I guess we all celebrate in different ways, don't we? We have different ways of sharing our excitement or celebrating holidays. Here, what can I say about it? The local way of celebrating is a bit jarring, is a bit loud. Anybody? I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. Anybody?
Not by now.
No. No. This is now officially the holiday season. I was thinking at breakfast, thinking about my favorite Christmas movies. And if I had to pick one, it would probably be It's a Wonderful Life. And so I was able to combine that movie with the manner in which the local Mexican population celebrates holidays and I think this is a good reframe. If you're having problems with bombs, with those, this is a good reframe. Every time you hear a bomb, another angel gets its wings. So just think of it like that. Oh, another angel just got its wings. And I know it's so hard for some people, but I wish, the mind training teaches us, if possible, to just simply allow. So we do the best we can. And so today we are going to be talking about contemplation. We started off in that attitude, that spirit, and I want to begin by reading something to you that I think will take us into that space. And I'll just tell you up front who this comes from. This is from Thomas Merton. You all probably know Thomas Merton. If you don't, Thomas Merton was probably the greatest spiritual writer of the 20th century. A Cistercian Trappist monk living in Kentucky. So let's just enter into that space, even with all of the noise and celebrations. Here we go. Contemplation is the response to a call from him who has no voice, and yet who speaks in everything that is. A call from the one who has no voice, yet speaks in everything that is, and who most of all speaks in the depths of our own being. For we ourselves are words of his. We are words of spirit. But we are words that are meant to respond to him. That's beautiful. We are meant to be words that respond to the divine, to answer the divine, to echo him. And even in some small way, to contain him, to contain God, and to signify God. Those are powerful words. Let me read that whole thing one more time without stopping, just so you can really take it in. Contemplation is the response to a call from him who has no voice, and yet who speaks in everything that is, and who most of all speaks in the depths of our own being. For we ourselves are words of his, but we are words that are meant to respond to him, to answer to him, to echo him, and even in some small way to contain him and signify him. The wordless word. It's interesting that in traditional Christianity, the word is the Christ. It all began with that primordial sound, or the word. But as we always say, this is not just something that is signified from 2,000 years ago. It's happening right now. As Richard Rohr says, the Christ is just another name for everything. Everything that is held within the Christ, especially you, each one of us. And yet at the same time, we know through experience that there is only one Christ, one extension of the love and the loveliness of God. Now, that's not something you can get intellectually. That's not something you can understand, but you can know, truly know, a single extension of the love and the loveliness of God, otherwise known as you, and you, and you. So how can I say you and you and you and you, and yet it still be single? There's only one. Well, in many ways, it's beyond words, isn't it? It's beyond all of the concepts that we hold to try to make it more than one, because that's what the split mind does. The split mind is determined to make one more than one. Okay, I'm going to do a little exercise for you to show you the illusion of two, just so you can see how simple and how basic this is. Many of you have done this before, so just bear with me if you've done it before. Take one finger and put it at about like this, right in front of your eye. I want you to look right at your finger. How many fingers do you see? You see one finger. Now, look through the finger to the other side of the room. I'm looking at the wall in the back. How many fingers do you see now? Two. Now look back at your finger. Here's the question. Were there ever two fingers? Were you ever holding up two fingers? No. There was only one. And yet, two fingers appeared before you. This is the illusion of two. And all this is saying is come back. Return. Return to the experience of one. Three angels just got wings. Let me read a little further. Contemplation is this echo. Remember, it said that you are an echo of God. Contemplation, when we hold still and allow that movement within us, that is the echo. It is a deep resonance, in the innermost center of our spirit, in which our very life loses its separate voice and resounds with majesty and mercy of the hidden and loving one. Wow. God answers himself. I love that. God answers himself in us. And this answer is divine life, divine creativity, making all things new. We ourselves become his echo and his answer. It is as if in creating us, God asked a question. And in awakening us to contemplation, he answered the question. Isn't that beautiful? In awakening us to that divine conversation or that contemplation, God answered the question. So that the contemplative is at the same time question and answer. Do you see how the two becomes one again? Through contemplation, we become the question and the answer. So why are we talking about that this morning? Contemplation. With all the distractions, all of the noises, all of the celebrations, wherever we are, not just in Ahihi, we know that in Ahihi, from about Thanksgiving to New Year's, this is what you get. But the question is, can it become our prayer? Can it become our mantra? If we realize that we are answering the divine in every moment. We are both the question and the answer. Then each sound becomes a prayer. Each thought becomes a prayer, if we allow. So I thought starting off with Thomas Merton, who I think is the best, would be a good thing in the midst of all of this. What did it start, about 6 a.m.?
Oh.
Aren't you guys lucky that you don't have to deal with that? But here we are. So Vicki, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you and hear both the question and the answer through your beautiful filter.
Good morning, Brother James. And Brother James, we have a surprise here this morning. So welcome to everyone. And we have a surprise guest that you will be pleased is here. Yep. So I want to introduce you all. We spoke a little bit on the Zoom, in the Zoom room before we started, to Lynn Johnson and Dove, David Fishman, because Lynn and Dove have in their ministry something called Pal Talk that some of you may know about, that every day for many, many years, and maybe Lynn can tell us, or Dove, have been broadcasting and giving a place for teachers of the Course in Miracles and other similar traditions voice, giving them voice, much like what we do here. And today they're joining us live. They've been playing these reach things, what do you call them? Our replays every day. But on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from now on, they're going to play us and join us live. So I want to welcome Dove and Lynn, and thank you so much. It's such a gathering of mighty companions in every way. And Lynn, it's just so nice to see your shining face. I don't see Dove yet, but welcome. And Baraka, who's in the room also, mighty companions, was the kind of the founder of Pal Talk in a certain way. He had the first AOL public forum for Course in Miracles speaking, and then Dove and Lynn picked it up. And it was also the first place when Teddy had gone through another cycle in his life for him to be launched into giving and speaking and teaching again, and me as well, and many, many others that you know. Started Lisa Natoli, a lot of brothers that you know started off in Pal Talk, and it's been one of our spiritual homes for many years. So to have Lynn and Doug, such a blessing, and have Darla and Alden on their way. They're on their way as we speak. So it's a gathering of mighty companions. And what is our profession? This goes right back into what you're talking about, contemplation. For me, I was never a great meditator, never. I've been trying to do it for years. But what I do is abide in that presence, abide in that word, that we belong to God, that I belong to God, that I'm just here as love's messenger. That's my only purpose. And I never know how it's going to show up, but I'm always grateful because it's a surprise, and it's always a happy surprise, even when it doesn't seem to be, even when that one finger looks like two. If I just wait a minute and turn to that abiding word, that I am yours. It's the prayer Jesus gave to Bill. Just say, here I am here I am. Just staying in that presence. I am all yours. Opening up to that knowing, because there's a center of knowing that none of us would be here if we didn't have it. It isn't about faith and belief. There's a center, it's a kernel maybe, just a little light, like a Bunsen burner, this little BB light, but we know it's there. And we know how to turn it up. And the best way we turn it up is when we join together and we celebrate. And I love the reframe on the bombs. I love that reframe. Of course, these are angels getting their wings. It's time for celebration. Don't get comfortable in like being passive and being, just doing whatever you're doing. It calls us to attention. Every little bomb or fireworks that are going off, it's like, come on, pay attention. Where are you? Here I am, Lord. Where are you? Here I am. I'm hanging out with you. I'm here to love. How, where, when, however you show me, so be it. Let your eye be single. It's been an old teaching. It's not new. It's the same teaching in today's daily word. Pray ceaselessly. Pray ceaselessly. Here I am, God. I don't know what you want to do with me, or I'm befuddled by what's in front of me. How do you want me to see it? How do you see it? How can I be helpful here? How can I receive your help? Here I am, Lord. It's that simple. That abiding in that presence, in that knowing, and let that Bunsen burner flame go right up so that it sparks and it fills our hearts with knowing. And when we step into whatever it is we're to step into, wherever we are, we'll step into it with grace and with ease, because it isn't us. We're here not to live as a separate identity. We're here to live in that one identity, that we are spirit and we are souls, and we have a Father that created us and gave us a helper, the Holy Spirit, to walk with us and to even see the two fingers when we see them, and to help us remember it's only one. We have a helper. We walk with our helper. We walk with the Spirit, and we're here to walk every day in ease and grace and joy. That's what our real job is. And if we're confused for a moment, we get frightened by the sounds of bombs, that's all right. We turn back within. Here I am, Lord. Show me again, God. Show me the truth. Show me that we have one sound of love, and that we live by letting that sound of love pour through us generously. We're here to rest in that word and let the word of love pour effortlessly through us, however it does, without trying to judge it or redirect it. We just witness it and enjoy it. What a different life when Paul said, I don't live, Christ lives in me. That's what we're called to. The Christ in us, as us, is expressing through us and as us. As we smile, as we hold one another's hands, as we steady each other when we get confused for a moment. It's not a problem. It's just about holding each other in that same space. Here I am, to that presence, that space that stands within, to that light. Show me, here I am. And I won't try to figure it out by myself. I'll stay here in certainty and let you lead me, so that that light is what lives through me. Not I, but the light in me lives. Let it live, let it walk, let it talk, let it play, let it sing, let it dance, let it celebrate as we gather together. That's what Pal Talk is called, gather. It's a room of gathering. And when two or more are gathered in the knowing of that presence, that we share that one identity, that's it. Life is a surprise. It's a big surprise party. And no wonder there's fireworks. You're in the zone of the party. So anyway, welcome, Lynn and Dove. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. We have been joined as mighty companions to live, to contemplate, to abide in this presence, and let life flow through from that. Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you. Amen. And yes, I did see Lynn in the room before we started, and we saw Dove a couple of days ago. Lynn, I would love to have you share for a minute, if you would. And we are so grateful for all the work you and Dove have done over the years to continue to shine this message. So if you're out there, go ahead and unmute, and we would love to hear you share.
Oh, great. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's so exciting to see you all. And it's Baraka. Oh my God, my heart, my froggy man. I love you so much. It's so good to see you. Beautiful, beautiful face. Yes. And I come in, I listen to your recordings, and it's so cool to see you all. Calico, everybody is wonderful. But yeah, this is my life's work. Apparently, I didn't plan that, and I remember when I first met up with Teddy, and I think that was probably, he was the greatest teacher, and still is a great teacher for me. He is still a great teacher for me. I listen to him in my mind all the time, and I recognize that he was so tough on me, but he was like those bombs that keep going off out there, Jimmy. It's like Teddy was like, boom, boom, boom. And I needed that because I thought I had it all together. I thought I was all that, and I knew this Course in Miracles, and he very quickly made hash out of that, but but in a good way. And that's what we're here for. Dove and I just finished. We just read the entire course. We started in October of 2019, and two days a week, 90 minutes on Tuesdays and Sundays, we read and talked about the entire course. And we just finished this last Tuesday. That's why we'll be able to be with you guys on Tuesday now, because we're done with that. But so often, so much of it is Jesus is talking, and especially in the last section, choose once again, about we have the power to light our brothers' minds. I light the world. I walk with God, and I light the world. I light my mind and all the minds that God created one with me. That's what we're here for, is to light up the world. And sometimes it takes a bomb. Sometimes it takes a big noise, and sometimes it takes a gentle whisper. And we have all of it. This community, we have it all. And this is what we're here for. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for you, James. My heart. I love you all. Vicki, anyway, I will hush up and just know, we're here with you, as often as we can. When I found you all on YouTube, I was like, oh my God, here's my family. And I'm just so grateful for you all. Thank you all so much. And that's it for me. And I guess Dove must have forgot, because he was coming in today.
Well, you're always welcome. Please just drop in live whenever you want. And it is also so nice to know that there's such a big community, 200 or 300 people every day who are watching the videos. So if you take the group here at Namaste, the group that are live on Zoom, and multiply it by 2 or 3, this really is extending out to the whole universe. It's really touching so many lives, this Namaste bomb of love. So we're very grateful. Thank you, Lynn and Dove, if you're listening. And yeah, I am here. I am here. What more do we need to say? What more do we need to know? But the I am presence is here right now, through and as each one of us. And nothing can touch that. When we truly know that reality, nothing can touch it. No explosion, no banda group playing outside your window at 6 a.m. Nothing in this world. Because we know resolutely that beyond this world, there is a world that I really want, that I truly want, and where I am. That's how simple this is. So let's live in that vibratory state today. Let's remember to give it away, to share it. That's how it increases within us, by sharing that light, by being the source. And one thing we're very excited about here at Namaste Village is that we do have another source, a couple of them actually. We have a lot of new energy coming. As you all heard, Darla and Alden will be arriving tonight. So they will be at the session in the morning. And this morning also, 2 new people arrived. Reverend James. See, I don't know why I did that, because I hate when people call me Jim. Isn't that interesting? The shadow. Ooh. You can call me Jimmy, but just don't call me Jim. See, now that I said that, it's going to be in your mind. And I promise 3 people today are going to call me Jim. Because I'm resisting, right?
Each time we call you Jim, an angel gets a ring.
I don't know if you heard that. That was Scott. He said, every time someone calls me Jim, an angel will get its wings. So Reverend James from Seattle has joined us. What is your name again? And his wife Christy will be here with us for the whole month, which is brilliant because, as you know, this James will be leaving on Monday to go to Portland, and there is another James to step right in and take my place.
Preservation of James's.
That's preservation of Jamesness, exactly. So we're going to have a plethora of enlightenment and enthusiasm and teaching with Alden and Darla and James and everyone, Vicky, of course, everyone else. We are so blessed. And I'm looking over at Scott now. How you doing, my brother? You want to come up?
Happy.
All right. So Scott is going to come up and weave a little tale for us to close our session in music. So Scott, it is yours. Ah.
Another bomb, another grievance now is gone. Another bomb, another fear thought is gone. Another bomb, reminding us nothing can be wrong. Another bomb exploding. Noise is joy exploding in midair. Noise reminds us we do not have to care. Every bomb that goes off is grace giving you a nudge. The bombs are expressions of love. All the bombs are expressions of love. Soon there will be changes, but there'll still be some Jameses. There's always a James to play and remind us not to resist. Forgiveness is the key to happiness, and the bombs just don't resist.
That just amazes me. Wow. Thank you, Scott. Anybody who can rhyme with James is pretty good, pretty good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for this sacred joining. That's all we do. That's all we need, is just to continue to join together in a single intention of love. And to start our mornings off in this way, to rev up our engines and get that love flowing, there's nothing like it. So thank you. Now we'll go ahead and we'll do our prayer of protection before we go. Let me share the screen. And if you remember, it says here, wherever God is, I am, but we always change it to wherever I am, God is, the proper way. So here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Amen, amen, amen. Y punto. And there you go. Have a beautiful day, everybody. We love you.
I love you. See you tomorrow.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thanks.
See you tomorrow.